This is an excerpt from Peter Ralston's new book, Ending Unnecessary Suffering, coming out in March of 2025. In your personal struggles, you will always feel alone and isolated because these struggles occur in your private internal world where you are trying to deal with or overcome personally perceived challenges. In a social context, you probably try to hide, overcome, or manage these parts of you, and this increases your sense of isolation. How could you not feel alone in your struggle with being shy, angry, arrogant, unworthy, bitter, lazy, fearful, vain, withheld, restless, or any other trait that you see as a flaw or impediment or as socially unacceptable? If you have what you consider an unacceptable or a less than desirable trait, something you tend to keep hidden or alter when dealing with others, and even if you don't hide this trait, it still doesn't seem to serve you or promote your overall interests as a social entity, how could you not feel inwardly isolated with it? For example, say you are shy, a form of social fear. You don't necessarily want people to know you are shy, but because you are drawn into social interactions, your behavior betrays you, and you know everyone sees your shyness. Yet, you don't see most others as shy, and so you feel isolated and alone in this shyness, whether hidden or not. On the other hand, you may feel inwardly shy or fearful, unsure of yourself, but you hide this and project an outward sense of bravado. Again, you can see you will also feel alone with this struggle because it is kept hidden within. In different ways, with whatever self-characteristic that you consider a flaw, weakness, or unacceptable in some way, you will tend to feel alone. The very nature of this dynamic tends to isolate you within an internal struggle. But consider, every person struggles with this same dynamic. In this way, you are not alone, but share this same feature with pretty much every person on the planet. You really needn't hide such challenges, but if you do, you can still know that the others you interact with all have their own struggles and they also feel alone with them. Knowing that you are not alone or unusual in having limiting or ineffective traits helps you accept them and also get that the person you are isn't really broken, but in essence is doing the same thing everyone else is doing, simply perhaps in a different way. In the end, it really doesn't matter. It's like various colors. Everyone has a color, character, but it is really not important what it is. What generates an ineffective trait? No characteristic trait arises without an assumed concept about yourself or about life or others that you hold as true and real. This concept is a thought, but it is held as if it is an existential reality. Can you see what concepts produce arrogance, shyness, anger, restlessness, vanity, unworthiness, and so on? Take a look at some less than sterling trait you have, even if you resist or deny that you have it, and ask yourself, what is it you actually think is true about you that generates that reality? Keep focused on it until you get that it is a concept, something you are doing. Patterns of impulses and behaviors that seem unwanted to which you are bound form an agenda that dictates what you will pursue and how you will go about trying to resolve what feels incomplete in you. Conceptual underpinnings, like mentioned in the previous sections, often go unnoticed or are just taken for granted, but generate this activity in you. When you try to take on some notion of transcending your flaws or unacceptable feelings and actions, you may look toward the ideal of being a perfect human. This is not the most fruitful way to go about any such change. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. Albert Einstein. Ending Unnecessary Suffering is coming out in March of 2025. To pre-order now, click the link in the description.